Please put your hands together for one of my favorite humans, Jerad Langley.
Wow! What a crowd we have tonight. What's going on, guys? You guys are awesome. Glad to be here. My name is Jerad, and I do want to, I'm just going to tell you some things about myself tonight. First off, I'd like to tell you that I served 6 years in the military. Some ungrateful bastards over here. It's okay because I get really uncomfortable when people thank me for my service. And so I don't want you to do that because I didn't do it for you. I did it because I had a 1.4 GPA in high school. That's it. Like there was no sense of duty, no pride, just no options. My dad was a Southern Baptist preacher. I needed to get out of there. Needed to get out of there fast, and I didn't really know what I was going to do, so I decided to join the military. Now, that being said, I did join the least scary of the branches. Does anybody know which one that is? Coast Guard? Air Force. Coast Guard's close, but Air Force is it. Coast Guard. Damn, why didn't I think of that? Seems a lot better now that I think about it. No, I joined the Air Force mainly because I wanted to go a long ways away, and I like airplanes. So this sounded great. The thing about when you tell somebody you were in the military, civilians kind of get a weird idea about it. I think now it's like a Hollywood look at what the military is. So they're picturing SEAL Team 6, an American sniper. That's not exactly the way it worked for me. I mean, I will tell you this. The only time my life was in danger in the entire 6 years of the military was in a bar fight in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I was not fighting for your freedom. It's not what I wanted. But it was the Air Force, so I get to tech school, and the day comes where we get our orders, which is the most exciting day. Like, everybody's waiting for this because now we find out what we're going to do for the next 4 years of our life. My roommate, he opens up his orders. Okinawa, Japan. Oh, that sounds awesome. That seems like as far away from my home as you can possibly get. Man, I open up my orders. Knob Noster, Missouri. Are you kidding me? It's 90 miles from my home. This didn't accomplish a thing. I mean, my dad could still drive by the base and check on me. Like, this is not good. But I was still out of the house. And there were airplanes. It's the Air Force. We got the coolest planes in the entire world, hands down. Did you guys know that there are Air Force bases without airplanes? I found 2 of them. I was never actually stationed on an Air Force base that had military aircraft. 90 miles from my home and no airplanes. What I'm saying is, don't thank me for my service. I'm still pissed off about it. It was not for you. I had to get out. I didn't like it. Now, the thing about the military is there is some, it's the discipline thing that a lot of people have a problem with. But I was raised up Southern Baptist. Discipline was not my problem. Had plenty of that. But, matter of fact, like, who out here were spanked as a child? Some of you, yeah? And how many of you think you're better off because of it? Wrong! You have Stockholm Syndrome. We are not supposed to beat tiny humans into submission. That is not a good idea. It didn't work, guys. It really screwed some things up, okay? Like, the people that decided that they would beat their kids, those kids, a lot of those decided they weren't ever going to lay a hand on their child. And then they raised an entire generation of kids I want to kick the shit out of. So it doesn't work. I mean, somebody should have beat their ass. But what I'm saying, I guess, is we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Raising kids is hard. It's hard. Somebody's got one in prison. It is. It's hard because what you're trying to do, in my mind, I want my kids to be successful. Like, that's what you want. You want to see your kids have success, more success than you did. You don't want to be happy. I don't care if my kids are happy. You don't get successful from being happy. You get happy after you have success. You get successful from hating something. Usually, like your parents. That's why I haven't been successful. Because my parents really supported me way too much. They thought I could do anything. I just thought I could too. I'm not going to make that mistake with my kids. They're going to know. And here's the problem. You don't want to ruin their spirit, right? I mean, you don't want to, you need to walk that line of giving them the angst they need, because that's the important thing, angst. That will push them forward to success. You know, if you do it too much, they go to prison, like this lady's. So I've come up with a method that I use, and you're free to use it if you want. But here's what I do. If my kid's walking through the living room, minding his own business, and he doesn't think I'm paying attention, I just go, "Hey! Do you have any idea how proud of you I am?" And he's like, no. And I'm like, "That's right, because you're humble, and I love that about you." And then you can just see the angst all over his face. And I assume he's walking into his room going, "What the hell just happened? I don't know how to feel about that." I mean, I don't know if it's gonna work, guys. Ask me in like 30 years. Because that's when you know if you've messed your kids up or not. Like 15, nah, they're all screwed up. That's not my fault yet. Maybe 30, we'll see. Like if they're still screwed up at 30, maybe I did something wrong. But not now. All I'm really trying to do, guys, is make sure that I don't have the kind of kids that grow up to run marathons. Anybody here ever run a marathon? You're not gonna like this part. You guys are, though. Here's the thing about people that run marathons. They're the most arrogant athletes we have. Like if somebody has run a marathon, they have told you about it, and told you about it, and told you about it. Like even vegans are like, "Give it a rest, we know. We've heard." Arrogant. And here's the thing, I think that what happened was they realized that their friends were tired of hearing about it, but there were some strangers out there that hadn't heard they ran a marathon, so they put a 26.2 sticker on their car. That's all it says, 26.2. That sticker pisses me off. Mainly because I had to ask what it meant. Made me feel like a dumbass. And out of shape. It's arrogant, it's pretentious. Like, you didn't win the race. I've never seen one that said, "I won a marathon." Just said, "No, I did it." Like, you don't see any other athlete doing this. Like, you've never seen a baseball player with a bumper sticker that said, "I played 9 innings." Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You don't see a football player with a bumper sticker that says, "I beat my wife." They don't brag about it, they just do it. It's an athlete. It's what real athletes do. Nah, Nah, I'm sorry, buddy, back there that ran a marathon. Here's the thing. You know what's worse than those guys? The 13.1 sticker. Here's somebody who wanted to quit halfway through something. Still congratulate themselves. Listen, guys, I've been quitting halfway through shit my entire life. I've never once thought to put a bumper sticker on my car bragging about it. Who does this? Like, I want to meet the person that came up with celebrating half of an accomplishment. Pretty sure it was the same guy that came up with the associate's degree. Come on, that's a worthless piece of shit. I mean, I don't have one. I got half of that. You don't see me with a bumper sticker that says half-ass. Dumb. You know what, guys? You guys are great. I'm having a great time up here. This is the best job I've ever had. Best job I've ever had. You guys have jobs? Anybody have jobs? Yeah. Oh, I hate them. Hate jobs. They're awful. I don't like them. It's not that I mind doing any job. I just start really hating the people that want me to do it. You know? I don't mind doing anything. My favorite job ever was I was a butcher for 10 years, which was a great job. I learned a good skill from some old school, butcher type guys, men. And then I went to work for Whole Foods. Any Whole Foods shoppers here? Yeah, this guy learned not to, everybody learned from that guy not to talk. I get it. You learn quick. Here's the thing about Whole Foods. Well, I won't go into all the reasons that they suck. But I was a meat cutter at Whole Foods. Now, this is a place where they hand you flyers at the front of the store on how to not eat meat. They sell books on how to not eat meat. And then the bosses are coming back saying, Jerad, why aren't you selling more meat? Gee, I don't know. They're awful. These people that come in to buy meat from Whole Foods, okay, these are people that want to be vegetarians. They really do. They really want to, but they love meat. So they've decided as long as the animal was treated right before we slit its throat and skinned it and cooked it up, I'm okay with it. I call these vegetarian lights. They're the same people with 13.1 stickers on their car. They would come up and say, was this animal 100% vegetarian fed? Wait a second. You want to eat meat, but you don't want the meat that you eat to have ever eaten meat? What a selfish prick. Like, it seems rude. Just wanted to make sure that they were gluten-free. It's meat! Do you not know how gluten works? It's not in meat. So yeah, they ruined a good job for me. They fired me because I was too angry for Whole Foods. It's true. I mean, I was. I didn't blame them at all. You guys are in a good mood. I like this. You guys are excited. I love it. Because I'm going to talk about depression. I'm just kidding. I don't want to talk about depression. I want to drown it in booze. Who's with me? Yeah! Because that's what adults do. Drown it in booze. No, I do suffer from depression. Let me rephrase that. The people around me suffer from my depression. I do all right with it. They don't really know what to do with me. I have anxiety. I have outbursts. I have depression. They've been trying to diagnose me for like 20 years now, guys. It started out when I was like 15, and they said, oh, you're having a major depressive episode. Okay. Went back a couple years later. You're manic depressive. Okay, it's different. A little bit later, it was bipolar. Just went the other week, and it was insufferable prick. That's just my mom, though. I get it, though. I mean, I get it. It is very tough. You know, when you suffer from depression, you sometimes go down some pretty dark alleys. You know, you get to some dark places. And I have to admit that I have done that. I've been in some pretty rough places. I was actually addicted to, for 10 years, I was addicted to NASCAR. I know. It was rough. I mean, the first one was free, and I was hooked from there on. It's just like, you just get into it. For 10 years, I took my week vacation every year to Talladega, Alabama, to the race. It fell on my wife's birthday several times. I did not take her with me, okay? I just went down there, and just the debauchery that goes along with addiction. That's what I did. I knew that I was at rock bottom. I knew that moment exactly because I found myself sitting in a campground next to a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and written on it, it said, "Jello shooters for hooters and cooters." Made me feel kind of dirty. I mean, I didn't write it. Wish I would have. It's clever. It's very clever. Up until then, the only slogan I had heard was "Show me your tits." Like I was going with the old school guys. Turns out this was much better, but it did. It made me feel really dirty inside, and so just want to let you guys know I've been clean for 6 years now. Yes. 6 years. One day at a time, guys. I'm Jerad. That's my time.
Make some noise.